Sorry, during all that time, I didn't you hear my voice, you didn't see me. I didn't bring myself to the visuals. Okay, all right. It's software issue on Lay's part. All right. Yeah, I panicked because I started late. I saw somebody say 131 people waiting for 10 minutes. That's 13,000 minutes. And I'm like, "Okay, let me turn on my camera and let's start." And I forgot to bring bring myself into the channel. But you heard my voice, right? No? Did you guys hear my voice at all? All that talk? I've been talking for a few minutes. No? No voice? Did you hear what I said before that? Who is this ugly guy? No? Okay, let me start. Oh, I had a very interesting monologue all to myself, and you guys didn't hear it. Okay, so hi. Okay, welcome to Leisrealtalk. Sorry, so sorry. Oh, okay. Uh, I had a rough start because I had to upload 3 videos to be shared with you, and one PPT. I promise this discussion will be very interesting. So for those of you who waited for me, I apologize, but I promise this will be a very interesting discussion. Last Thursday, well, actually this Thursday, on Thursday, I said I was going to talk about post CCP China, what China will be like after Xi Jinping and his regime, after Xi Jinping and his regime become history. I think I was one step ahead of myself. In the past 2 days, we got insight into how the regime and Xi Jinping may become history. So let me backtrack and talk about the intensified struggles between Xi Jinping and the two Princelings. I've made a number of videos discussing the subject at the end of last year and into January. I think there were 2 Princeling videos on December 28th of 2023, and then January 4th, I made a 3rd video about the Princeling on January 26th. So you can go back and look at these. They were not live streams, they were edited, scripted videos. You can watch them. In those videos, I discussed the Princeling heavyweights having formed an alliance to oppose Xi. It seems that things have evolved since then, and there is a Xi Jinping versus Princeling struggle 2.0, and this includes the Princeling's plan to overthrow Xi, or a plan to make us believe that they are going to overthrow Xi Jinping. Whatever it is, will come. This group will come to a conclusion at the end of this live stream. So everything I'm going to share with you is based on disclosures made by media and social media personalities outside China who obtain the information from their contact inside China. It's hard to verify them. So that brings us the question, why discuss these rumors when we can even validate them? So that's the first subject I'll discuss. I'll discuss the role rumors play in CCP politics because they are very important. Then I'll talk about Xi Jinping versus Princeling struggle 2.0. And then I'll talk about the Princeling's plan to take Xi Jinping down. Then I will discuss 2 recent accidents in Tiananmen Square that appear to target Xi. And then last but not least, I'll quickly address the PLA's recent military exercise around Taiwan because it seems to be related to our discussion. All right, so first things first, rumors have always played an important role in CCP politics due to its lack of transparency and manipulative nature. CCP leaders and those who oppose them have disclosed both truthful and fake information to the outside world with various intentions. Some were disclosed to test the feasibility of a future plan. Some were to attack political opponents. Some were to divert attention. Some were to clarify or bring truth to light. But rumors can be deadly. The most famous one was the claim that former Premier Li Keqiang would replace Xi Jinping at the 20th Party Congress. The rumor couldn't have come from either Xi Jinping or Li Keqiang. It was the work of Xi Jinping's enemy with the intention to turn Xi against Li, or turn Li against Xi. I mean, turn them against each other. We knew it was fake news, but the rumor certainly had a huge impact on Xi Jinping. Li Keqiang, who didn't see eye to eye with Xi Jinping, but was well respected even after his retirement, died mysteriously while swimming. So the question is, did the rumor play a role, right? Did the rumor play a role on the psychic of Xi Jinping? It's very possible. So that's why astute China observers never discredit a rumor involving CCP leaders, whether it's true or false. We're about 1 month away from the third plenum of the 20th Party Congress of the Communist Party, which is highly anticipated because it's been seriously delayed since last fall. Therefore, Chinese or CCP rumor mills are in action again. So now let's dive in. First things first, Xi Jinping versus Princeling 2.0. The first piece of information is from this guy. Now let me bring him in. So you see, I talked all that without you guys hearing it. Okay, so this guy, his name is Tang Jingyuan. And he is a political analyst with who's also a YouTuber. I mentioned him in my last program. He said in his program yesterday that he was informed by reliable sources that conflicts between Xi Jinping and the Princelings have intensified. The anti-Xi Jinping forces are spearheaded by three groups: the former CCP leader Jiang Zemin's children, General Liu Yuan, who is the son of Liu Shaoqi, and Deng Xiaoping's son, Deng Pufang. So according to him, Xi Jinping has investigated General Liu Yuan in the name of anti-corruption. I think I have... Okay, so here on the left is Liu Yuan, on the right is Deng Pufang, Deng Xiaoping's son. So Xi Jinping has investigated Liu Yuan in the name of anti-corruption. So although Liu Yuan gained Xi Jinping's trust by helping him crack down on corrupt PLA leaders when he first came to power, he has also amassed considerable wealth. Liu Yuan reportedly handed over 2 billion yuan, which is about 300 million US dollars, to the Xi Jinping regime in order to pass the scrutiny. While not publicly prosecuted or detained or secretly detained, he remains under strict surveillance. So that's according to Mr. Tang. And the second faction is Jiang Zemin's two sons, Jiang Mianhen and Jiang Miankang, along with his grandson, Jiang Zhichen or Alvin Jiang. Mr. Tang's source said the widely spread rumor that Xi Jinping used Jiang Zemin's funeral to lure Alvin Jiang back to Beijing from Singapore in December 2022 and later detained him after the funeral is mostly true, although some details were off. I mean, we've been hearing the rumors that Jiang Zemin's grandson, Alvin Jiang, is in custody or has been detained. So were his father. And we've been hearing that rumor for the past more than a year. I never talked about it because it's hard to be verified. But now, this source saying that it is true. It's mostly true, although some details were off. His source said that Alvin Jiang's father and his uncle are also under strict surveillance. Their fate is awaiting Xi Jinping's decision. The source also mentioned that Xi Jinping has increasingly relied on the National Security Commission, which he leads himself to stay in power. Now, the National Security Commission is not the Ministry of State Security. It's one of the many commissions that Xi Jinping established that he heads himself in order to have full control. The commission is highly secretive, other than Xi Jinping and his three vice chairmen, who are Li Qiang, the premier, Zhao Leji, and Cai Qi. We don't know who work in that commission. Mr. Tang's source said Xi has established several secret departments to rapidly expand the commission's power, and has effectively taken over the functions that used to fall under the political apparatus and the intelligence systems. However, intense internal infightings persist, and several key officials in the commission have mysteriously died or disappeared. And this is all according to Mr. Tang. Do I have his picture? Yeah, this guy. And another formidable opponent of Xi Jinping, a Jiang Zemin ally, a longtime Jiang Zemin deputy, Zheng Qinghong, has placed one of his sons in a crucial position in the Security Commission. This is very interesting. Now, public records show that Zheng Qinghong only has one son. His name is Zheng Wei, who has been living with his wife in Australia. I mean, they bought one of the most prominent estates in Australia, right? Media reported that. So where does this guy have other sons? Well, Zheng could have adult children by other women, given CCP officials' very colorful life. So it could be one of his illegitimate children, not his son, his official son. So the fight between Xi Jinping and the Princelings are intense, according to Mr. Tang. Now, what are the Princelings going to do? So this brings us to our second source of rumor. And this one came from Professor Yuan Hongbin, who I have mentioned him quite a number of times. He said in a media interview a few days ago about a plan by the Princelings. I'll play the video clips of what he actually said, so you can watch that directly. You can listen, yeah. But first, let me give you the background information he provided, which wasn't in the video, which wasn't in that video clip. He said Xi Jinping's ambition is to establish himself as a CCP leader on par with Mao Zedong. To achieve this, he must seize Taiwan by force and expand the influence of CCP's rule globally. Initially, the Red Princelings collectively opposed Xi Jinping's war on Taiwan. General Liu Yazhou, the former political commissar of the National Defense University, is a leading figure among them. General Liu believes that Xi Jinping doesn't have the leadership quality that can help him win the war. He believes that if Xi Jinping starts a war in the Taiwan Strait, it will only end in a painful defeat. By the way, General Liu was rumored to be imprisoned for life for demoralizing the PLA by spreading these pessimistic views. Professor Yuan said that many Princelings shared Liu Yazhou's view, and this includes the former defense minister Li Shangfu. Minister Li outwardly supported Xi Jinping's Taiwan strategy, but privately in interactions with high-ranking PLA officers, believe that or expressed view that Xi's war in the Taiwan Strait was a path to self-destruction. He was purged due to him being perceived as a two-faced person. Now, Professor Yuan's source also revealed that the main reason the Princelings oppose Xi Jinping is that Xi has destroyed the oligarchic the oligarchic power sharing system that was the legacy of Deng Xiaoping, which allowed the few red families to share the highest power. This has led to widespread disfaction and even hatred among the Princelings towards Xi Jinping. And the latest development with this group is that some advisors working for the Princelings believe that Xi Jinping should be encouraged to start a war in the Taiwan Strait. And now let me play the first video clip. Which one is the first one? Is this the first?
李尚福火箭军。
Oh, okay, this one. And let me play this. Okay, here, let me start from the beginning. Okay, here we go.
这个我们都知道，前一段那个李尚福火箭军和战略支援部队以及军工体系这个大案呢，那么为什么发起这个大案呢？它的主要原因呢，不是什么这个贪腐了，啊，主要的原因就是这些人是习近平所谓的两面人，啊，他们表面上这个赞同习近平的这个攻台方略了，但是实际上呢，他们都认为啊，这个中共现在攻打台湾呢，只要在台湾有坚定的这个抵抗意志的情况下，只要在国际社会有这个强有力的支持的情况下，中共的党卫军呐，进攻台湾那是自找死路。现在尤其值得注意的是，中共的军中、中共的红二代内啊，正在酝酿着另外的一种这个说辞了，一种想法，就是要为了创造机会啊，摧毁习近平的个人独裁呢，他们要鼓励习近平啊去发动台海战争。鼓励他去找死，啊！当然，我们作为一个追求中国自由民主的这个人士呢，我们是要希望有两岸之间要有个和平状态嘛。
对，
战争总是不好的。
对，
但是中共体制内的这种动态，特别是红二代、军中红二代的这种动态呢，那是值得我们注意的，重视的，至少值得我们关注。
Okay, let me come back. So that's what he said in this interview, in this video interview, and then in other textual or text interview, he also said that the Princelings think this plan can bring two major benefits to them. First, once a war starts, the PLA will have more power and autonomy because they will be given ammunition, right? Allowing PLA officers to have partial control of the military force. This gives, because once a war breaks out, I mean, people on the front line will have, more say, right? So this gives the Princelings an opportunity to launch a coup or a mutiny during the war. And the second benefit is that Xi Jinping's war in the Taiwan Strait will result in defeat. This disastrous result will significantly weaken Xi's power, making it easier for them, meaning the Princelings, to seize power and overthrow Xi Jinping after the war. Professor Yuan was also asked in this video interview about the timing of the attack. Would it be during the 2024 US election? I was asked that question last time. And let me play the video of his answer.
就是中共现在或者习近平当局现在呢，中共体制内啊这些良知人士传达出来的信息，就是中共现在或者习近平当局现在呢，在美国大选之前呢，他不会发动大规模的对台作战，因为他们有一个判断，中共习近平当局的智库啊有一个判断，就是今年的美国大选无论谁当选，都很可能啊像上次美国大选一样，出现美国社会的极大的分裂、政治的冲突、社会的分裂、意识形态的大分裂，而且这个造成美国社会啊一个比较长期的这个思想动乱的时期。
对，
而中共呢，把这个时期呢，就当作他发动台海战争的窗口期，因为美国内部一旦出现这种政治的这个混乱，这个思想的冲突啊，他很可能 削弱美国介入台海战争的作战意志和作战能量，所以他们把2005到2007年之间呢，视为是这个发动台海战争、征服自由台湾的一个窗口期。
Okay, so that's what he said. Okay, here's my analysis. Liu Yazhou and other princelings who opposed the war in the Taiwan Strait, not because they recognize, Liu Yazhou and other princelings oppose the war in the Taiwan Strait, not because they recognize the legitimacy of ROC, the Republic of China, or care about the people on both sides of the strait, but merely because they believe that their chances of winning is very small. Many of the princelings are against Xi Jinping, but not in the true sense of opposing a totalitarian regime or dictatorship. But what they want to install is essentially a collective hereditary system of privileged red families where they share power and take turn to rule. Xi Jinping is the biggest beneficiary of this mechanism, but he destroyed it after he came to power. The other red families believe they can save the regime by overthrowing Xi and returning to the good old days of the Deng Xiaoping era. Unless there are true reformists who believe in a political reform, otherwise they are no different than Xi Jinping and may be more deceptive than Xi Jinping because they will appear softer and more westernized. Now the question is, here's my question. If these people are serious about organizing a coup, why did they review their plan? Isn't that counterproductive? Right? So this is the first question I have. And is it possible that people who disclose this rumor just hope such a rumor will reach Xi Jinping's ears and therefore make him rethink his plan to attack Taiwan? Maybe the whole purpose of the rumor is to intimidate Xi Jinping in his war plan. Like the Li Keqiang rumor, right? I mean, all these rumors will eventually, get to him and make him react. So maybe the purpose of this rumor is to deter Xi Jinping's military aggression. And the people and the individuals who released this rumor are likely anti-war PLA officers. So this is highly likely. People say Xi Jinping must have, the people who say this is likely because they look at how Xi Jinping reacted to the plane crash and the sudden death of the Iranian president. They say based on PLA's, they say this based on PLA's strangely arranged military drill, which had been carefully planned by the PLA for a long time to punish William Lai on his inauguration. But the strange thing, why people say it's strange, was one, it lasted only 2 days. When Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan in August 2022, CCP held a 6-day military exercises and fired real missiles. This time, the drill was only 2 days and no ammunition was used. And the most bizarre part was that it was held 3 days, or it started 3 days after William Lai's inauguration. So some China observers say that the accidental death of the Iranian president on May 19th, the day before William Lai's inauguration, scared Xi Jinping. Zhong Nanhai panicked and waited 3 days to launch the drills and wrap it up the following day. And also during the military drill, Xi Jinping left Beijing and went to Shandong. in the past, I've talked about how Xi Jinping doesn't feel safe staying in Beijing. Like he would travel from time to time throughout other parts of China, sometimes like randomly on his train, of course. He doesn't fly. So all of this, it tells people how much Xi Jinping has reacted to the plane crash of the Iranian president, and how much that has affected a military drill designed to punish William Lai. So the question comes, and the next question is, if a military drill made Xi Jinping so nervous and reactive, what if a real war breaks out, right? So these rumors obviously would have an impact on him, Now let's do a survey. Chris, if you're ready, let's do a survey. I want to do a survey. How many of you believe this rumor was real? Meaning that the Princelings are organizing, are encouraging Xi Jinping to go to war so that they could carry out a coup or a mutiny. So it's a real plan. It's part of their real plan. That's one. If you think so, please vote 1. If you think this is only a rumor designed to scare Xi Jinping away from the plan to attack Taiwan, it was not really the Princelings aren't really organizing a coup per se, but it was a rumor spread just to make Xi Jinping rethink about the risk for attacking Taiwan. If you think that's the purpose, vote 2. We'll see what the result will be. Okay. So I think Xi Jinping, I'll wrap up this talk and I'll give people some time to vote. I think Xi Jinping knows how many people under him or in China are two-faced. He knows he has loyalty issues in the PLA. That's why he sets up, the new organizations within the National Security Commission to manage people and manage things, right? So it ties with the first piece of information we heard from Mr. Tan, and he has to rely on high-tech surveillance mechanisms to keep an eye on people, like keep an eye on General Liu Yuan and the Jiang Zemin family. But I think his control is getting weaker and weaker as more and more people oppose him. On May 28th, 2 videos have been circulating on social media about cars crashing in Tiananmen Square. People first thought they were the same accident. Let me play the video. I have a third video to share with you. Let me start from the beginning. This one, I could do this. Yeah. Oh, let me start from the beginning. See, there's a car accident. There's a taxi crashing. It's on Chang'an Avenue. And then there's the second video. Here's the second video. And then the person, they stop all traffic and force them to turn around. So these video, was spreading, and many people said they were the same accident, but some people carefully analyzed the 2 videos, and they found out that there are actually 2 separate accidents. So it seems like the 2 taxis crashed into barricades on Chang'an Avenue, and they're not too far from where Xi Jinping was. So let me share with you a chart that I did. not this one. Where did okay, here we go. Okay, so this is the map of Tiananmen Square. So you see, I circle the area, right? So you have in the top, you have Tiananmen, the gate of heavenly peace. That's the Tiananmen, and then you have the red area is the Tiananmen Square. Around, the two buildings around that are next to on each side of the square is one is the Great Hall of People, the National People's Congress. And sorry, I can't see this at all. Do I see this? Oh yeah. So here is an aerial view of the square. On this red circle, I'll tell you, that was May 28th. So Xi Jinping was holding a welcome ceremony to welcome the president of Equatorial Guinea. Am I pronouncing the country correctly? Equatorial Guinea. And the president's name is Obiang, President Obiang from Equatorial Guinea, who was visiting China. And he was holding a welcoming ceremony outside the Great Hall of the People on the east side. So it was the same place where he held this welcome ceremony for Putin a week ago. This is the picture. So that was the spot. That was on the eastern entrance of the Great Hall of the People. So, and I highlighted on this map in that red circle. That's where that ceremony was supposedly held. And then the two red triangles were where the two car accidents happened, because we looked at, the video. People study the videos and find these, they're very close, but they're not in the same spot. They're on the Chang'an Avenue. Look how close they are. If it's just one car, if it's just one taxi, you may say, well, maybe the taxi driver got drunk or it was just an accident. But you have two taxis, right, that crashed in the afternoon, both in the afternoon, when Xi Jinping was holding a welcoming ceremony so close, also in the afternoon. And I checked the Chinese media. The media said Xi Jinping was holding a welcoming ceremony in that spot to welcome this president, but I didn't see any pictures. So I don't know if maybe, I don't know the timing, whether the accidents happened right during the ceremony or before or after. They might have, because of the accidents, they might have changed the plan for the welcoming ceremony. They might have moved it, indoors or somewhere else. I don't know, but I didn't see a picture of that welcoming ceremony. But this is what happened on May 28th. And I mean, in China, this is, think about it, two accidents. And they're both taxi. The taxi cars even look the same, right? Two taxis crashed on Chang'an Boulevard or Avenue around the same time when Xi Jinping was holding a welcoming ceremony. I don't think they're accidental. Okay, so that wraps up my talk, and I'd like to know the survey result. How many of you believe the rumor that the Princelings are encouraging Xi Jinping to go to war because that will benefit their plan to stage a coup against him? How many of that, or you think this entire rumor was designed to scare Xi Jinping off the plan of attacking Taiwan? Let me see the survey results. If someone can give me an update. One is yes. One is what? Yes to the coup attempt, and two to discouraging him. 40-60. Okay. 40-60. This is close. This is very close. I mean, this first time of our survey, yeah, I actually, you know what? I think both are correct. My view is this: whether you voted one or two are both correct because they are both part of the reason. Here's Lei's analysis. It could be priceless. Whoever designed this rumor is very smart because, well, the person who spread this rumor has no intention to organize any coup against Xi Jinping. He may be a princeling. I think he's probably a princeling. But the person who started this rumor have no plan to start a coup. But what this rumor will do is it will give those people who are angry at Xi Jinping the idea that they can organize a coup against him, right? Or if that didn't happen, it could also serve the purpose of scare Xi Jinping off of his Taiwan, military plan. So it serves both purpose. The person doesn't have any coup attempt, but he will give this idea to the many other anti-war PLA officers who are brave enough to come up with a coup attempt or come up with a coup plan. Right? You see that? So it's both 1 and 2. So I said whoever came up with this rumor is very smart because it will have that impact. And so that's why it goes. Let me go back to my first topic, why rumors matter in CCP politics. Now you see why it's so important. Sometimes it doesn't matter whether it's true or false. But if you really study the rumors, you will see the intentions behind the rumor and how it will impact Xi Jinping. I'm sure Xi Jinping will react to this rumor. It's impossible for him not to react to this kind of rumor because it is quite sensational and it's very likely. So I thank you for your vote. You're both correct. Whether I think 60-40, 40-60. So that wraps up my discussion. Okay, all right. Let me see if people have questions. I'm sorry for the troubled start. I should never rush, no matter no matter how. I should not react. No matter what the situation is, I react. I just say, okay, let me start. I hit the start live stream button without turning on my camera and my microphone. So, but anyways, let me see. Questions for me? If you guys have any other interpretations of this rumor, please share, in the comments, in the comment sections. We could discuss that. The screen is frozen. Okay. All right, let's see. I think I see some super chat stickers. Boy Kachina, thank you. Thank you. 777. That's my lucky number. I think I saw another one. 555. All right. I want to thank you. I think I saw did someone, there was another super chat question with a I can't find it because there's so many comments here. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, here it is. Chuck Denver. Lei, please provide more than rumors if possible. I respect your opinion. Taiwan war or not. Please provide more than rumors. I provided more than rumors. I think my talk provided way more than rumors. If you get what I was talking about. The conclusions we can draw is there are many people, there's definitely people within the PLA who are who are anti-war. And these people are actively coming up with ideas to stop Xi Jinping from, starting his war plan. And sometimes rumor is their weapon. Okay. Okay, boy, Kachina, isn't the CCP simply 500 families that were closest to Mao and now own 96% of everything there? Thank you, always Lei. I think it's less than 500 families. I mean, if you say 500 families, then you include, I think at the very core, the people who are really the shakers and movers within the in the regime. I think it's less than 500 families. Yeah, I think it's probably a few dozens who are considered the shakers and movers. But those 500 families are all privileged, and they now own. You're right. You know, most of the major industries of China. But they may not all 500 families are interested in um, taking down Xi Jinping. I think only a handful of them are interested. All right, let me see. Okay. Uh, real life Game of Thrones, when reality is more entertaining than fiction. I agree. I always think that there's no need for us to watch drama or read novels because the reality is always more entertaining and dramatic than fictions, right? Okay. All right. That's all. I think I will end it here. There aren't. Oh, here's one question. Trevor Chapman. During the naval exercises, did a large tugboat and a submarine collided and sink, losing many lives? Yes. W- there's no collision. There was a tugboat that sank. Its tonnage was 4,000 ton. So it's quite large, right? But it's not the largest. But it sank. And the CCP announced it immediately, but they didn't give the reason. That's one thing. But it was not known whether it was collision or whatever. And the second thing was after the military drill, CCP also announced that it lost a drone, a large drone. So it seems that CCP lost a drone and a tugboat. Yeah, in this, um, we don't know the cause. Someone has speculated that it could be uh, part of the electromagnetic warfare between the U.S. and China. Uh, I saw a very good analysis saying that it could be, and because the U.S. sent an aircraft with refueling, two aircraft. One is to collect the debris of the drone, the Chinese drone, and so someone was saying that it could be part. The reason China ended the military exercises so abruptly and so early was a war already was fought. It was a quiet electromagnetic war uh, between the U.S. and the Chinese. I don't know. I'm not a military expert, but that's what I read. I thought it's fascinating. But it is very strange that the CCP announced it immediately um, about the drone and the boat. And as far as why a regime that's so obscure or lacks transparency would announce it so quickly, people say have two purposes. One is it probably wants it's it wants to misguide the US, so the location that it gave in the announcement was wrong. So that's probably it knew that the U.S. was on its way to collect the debris, and so it gave a false information on the location. Yeah, and then I don't know. I just saw that was a very fascinating perspective. Was there any actual PRC tugboat sinking? Yes. Yes. The CCP announced it. You guys don't know? I thought everyone knew that by now because it's official. It's the Chinese government acknowledged it. Although it doesn't say it's tied to the military drill. Of course, it doesn't say that. It's a civilian tugboat, but it was near the military exercise area. All right. So Sammy Giacana question. So she would rather invade Taiwan and engage the US rather than take on the Shanghai faction within the CCP? We can't really look at it that way. Of course, it wants to do both. It wants to take on the Shanghai faction, and I mean, if you listen to the first part of this discussion, I mean, Jiang Zemin is the head, the former leader of the Shanghai faction. His two sons and his grandson are under surveillance. So, of course, he wants to, he wants to take out all political enemies within, regardless of what faction they are. That's what he wants to do. And he wants to take over Taiwan. Those two go hand in hand. They're not like I can only do one but not the other. I mean, they go hand in hand. Okay. Jiang Zemin's dead. Yes, he is dead, but his followers are not. His two sons are very active, and his grandson is managing the family's money. So, all right, that's all I will say. Well, I thank you very much for joining me. Sorry for the rough start, and I'll enjoy the weekend. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.